Tonight, convicted firebugs put on notice this bushfire season. And the latest Spencer Gulf Council to adopt a 3-bin waste and recycling system.
From our 7 Spencer Gulf studios, your nightly news with Madeline Kerr begins now.
Good evening, thanks for joining us. The South Australian Police Force is ensuring as many eyes as possible are watching over known firebugs this summer. To stop catastrophic bushfires, SAPOL is now deploying more police patrols, implementing electronic monitoring and calling on the community to report suspicious behaviour.
Stamping out firebugs in our region. With bushfire danger season upon us, SAPOL's Operation Nomad is now in full swing.
The focus is on reducing the incidence of bushfires caused by deliberate, reckless and negligent human activity.
Patrols will be deployed on total fireban days throughout the summer months to monitor risky and deliberate fire use.
In addition to police patrols on the ground, we'll also be supported by PolAir from above. So you've got eyes on the ground and eyes up above.
It is deeply dangerous to light a deliberately lit fire, and our government is committed to ensuring that police and authorities have every tool available to them.
SAPOL says known arsonists are on their watch list, with the state government in the process of passing new laws to allow police to electronically monitor the movements of convicted firebugs.
We'll take any tools available to our disposal. Will give us an additional ability to be able to monitor some of those people in a different way.
Last year, Operation Nomad investigated 58 suspicious fires, with 21 of those incidents determined to be deliberately lit. Police making 6 arrests and issuing a total of 23 fines.
In the lead up to Operation Nomad, police across the state have been working actively with community groups, schools, local government, providing education material that assists them to make sure that they're safe and their families are safe.
SAPOL says these patrols will not only deter negligent actions, but help educate the community on bushfire safety. Edward McCarroll, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Wanted Whyalla man Rodney O'Connor has been located and arrested in Adelaide. At around 10 a.m. on Thursday, police attended a Morford Vale address and arrested Rodney without incident. The 43-year-old from Whyalla Stewart has been charged following an alleged domestic assault dating back to the 3rd of November in Whyalla-Norrie. He was refused bail and appeared in the Christies Beach Magistrates Court on Friday, where he was remanded in custody to reappear at a later date. The results for the Port Augusta City Council have finally been declared, with all preferences distributed. For 9 candidates, it was time to celebrate ahead of being sworn in and getting to work.
For Michael McKinley, months of campaigning, work and effort paid off after being elected onto Port Augusta City Council.
Excited. I'm really excited. I didn't believe it was going to happen. I was hoping it would because I wanted to bring some energy into the town, and with the group of councillors that we've got, I think it's going to be a vibrant, energetic lot of people who will bring some new shine to this town, excuse the pun.
The school teacher was the 8th candidate to reach the vital quota to get on council and has confirmed his interest in seeking the deputy mayoralty position.
I will talk to Lindy about that, and if she thinks I've got the quality needed as a deputy to represent her when she's not there, I'd love to do it. But really it's very important that the council as a group determine who is the best position for that job.
It took 44 preference counts for all 9 seats to be filled from the 13 candidates vying for a position, with all 5 incumbent councillors re-elected, joined by 4 new members. Meanwhile, fellow candidate Gary Singh was one of 4 candidates to miss out. But with Diwali celebrations coinciding with Results Day, he didn't let his loss sully the night.
That's fine. Port Augusta people still love me, still support me. Yeah. So yeah, it's a different story. But we are come here for the Diwali program, so we really enjoy that. Even you enjoy that. Thank you for that.
The elected members will be sworn in following Mayor-elect Lindley Shine tomorrow. They'll then go through orientation as they prepare for next month's council meeting. Daniel Pizarro, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
After pressure from the community, Clare and Gilbert Valleys Council is changing the way locals dispose of waste. The council is bringing in a food organics and garden organics system, bringing the total number of bins to 3.
Clare and Gilbert Valleys are going greener. It's part of Council's commitment to reduce the amount of compostable waste ending up in landfill.
Ever since I joined Council 5 years ago, quite frequently at community meetings that I've been to, people have asked about when Council's going to introduce a green bin, particularly because we've had 2 bins already, the general waste and recyclables.
Food organics and garden organics, or FOGO for short, means locals will be able to dispose of things like kitchen offcuts and grass cutting without taking a trip to the tip. The move will not only ease the burden on landfill, but councils' wallets as well.
There's 2 really big costs in waste collection, and that's paying the waste levy to the government, and also the cost of putting things into landfill, and also transport costs.
Council will also educate the community about what goes in each bin, saying it's all good and well to have a FOGO system, but if it's not used correctly, it simply won't work.
Will involve us attending all the markets that are in the district, so we're going to try and do that in the early part of the year.
Detailed videos about recycling will soon be available on Council's website and social media pages.
There's so many things that say on them that they can be recycled, but they're not necessarily able to be because there's no market for them.
The new system will roll out early next year. Annabelle Francis, 7 Spencer Golf News.
A truck transporting a hydraulic drill went up in flames in Kimber yesterday. At around 2:30 on Sunday afternoon, 3 CFS trucks reported to the scene on the Air Highway. Upon arrival, the crew found the truck on the side of the road with its cabin fully engulfed in flames. Around 10 CFS volunteers battled the fire for around 45 minutes before it was contained. The truck was destroyed, with the damage bill estimated at around $100,000. Thankfully, no one was injured and the cause of the fire is yet to be determined. Santa has made the first stop on his worldwide journey, arriving at Broken Hill's Queen Elizabeth Park over the weekend. He was there to see what the kids wanted for Christmas, give them some treats, and of course, to ride the train.
Not even a bit of a thunderstorm on Saturday could stop families from heading to Queen Elizabeth Park to say hi to Santa and giving him their list.
Oh no, I had a chat to Santa the night before and he said he was going to put on a nice day for us, which he did. It was really good. The children had a wonderful time, the parents had a wonderful time. It was just lovely to see.
He arrived in style, giving the reindeers a rest for the weekend, with Santa chauffeured into the park by President of the West Darling Machinery Preservation Society, Rex Lord, in a vintage mini moke.
Well, it was lovely to see that. The reindeers may have looked a bit out of place here yesterday, so the mini moke was a good choice.
While Santa may have shown up early, it doesn't mean the train has finished up for the year. The last ride of the year is pencilled in for December 18, but they are also available for birthday parties as well.
Oh, there's train rides for the children. We also do meal deals if they're interested in that. Just contact us through Facebook.
The Society is looking at putting on twilight train rides when they come back from the Christmas break, which will be in the 3rd Sunday in January.
Yes, 3rd Sunday of the month, unless of course someone wants a birthday party. We're hoping to start that up in January with the hot weather, and that would of course be put out there on Facebook.
You can also join the crew if you have some spare time up your sleeve.
Just contact us, either come down to the club to see us down there at 479 Crystal Street or here at the QE Park when we're running the train, or through Facebook.
Joshua Mercer, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Still to come tonight, Spencer Golf locals urged to not be complacent ahead of the 4th COVID wave. And a touching piece of art added to the Clare Valley's Riesling Trail. Welcome back. As the festive season fast approaches, SA Health is eager to drive down the number of COVID cases as soon as possible. With new modelling predicting the peak of the 4th wave to hit this week, officials are urging communities not to be complacent.
Looking to avoid another COVID Christmas at all costs. Coronavirus continues to rear its head in South Australia, with the state currently in the midst of a spike in cases. SA Health says 8,346 infections have been reported in South Australia in the past week. While smaller than the BA5 COVID wave that rocked the state in winter, authorities are urging community members to continue taking precautions, with more community gatherings taking place as we near the end of the year.
Where you can't easily have your own space, then that might be a time to start thinking about wearing a mask, particularly as we're on the upswing of that curve. And this is only for a couple of weeks, just as we get over that curve and start coming down the other side.
Looking at our region, our city's active case numbers have not seen a significant jump, except for in Whyalla, where the community continues to suffer from wider transmission. Despite the ongoing spikes across the state, SA Health says these numbers align with their predicted modelling and that after cases peak this week, they are expected to fall again by Christmas.
Which is excellent news, I think, for people's planning for the festive season as well. But there is still obviously timely reminders in terms of all the public health messages which are important, particularly at the moment where we're seeing this higher number of cases in the community.
To stop the COVID Grinch from stealing Christmas, SA Health is still urging residents to social distance and mask up when possible, especially in busy situations like this week's Black Friday sales. Edward McCarroll, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
The popular Clare Riesling Trail has a new addition. A statue of Australian novelist Monica McInerney has been unveiled, and its choice of location will be sure to tug at your heartstrings.
Monica grew up with 6 siblings in the railway station master's house adjacent to the Riesling Trail. To get some peace and quiet away from her brothers and sisters, the young girl would spend hours on the roof leaning against the chimney with a book in hand.
One of our members purchased the station master's house behind me, and so it all came together.
When looking at the statue, covered in tiny, individually placed tiles, you can see the exact house Monica grew up in and where her love of books began.
And she said it was great because you could also hear people talking below, people getting off the train, and so it helped feed her imagination.
The Riesling Trail Management Committee working hard to ensure the grounds stay in top-notch condition, as well as keeping the trail informative and exciting for visitors.
Many of her books mention places in Clare, and we had people coming up looking for them.
With the weather warming up, it's the perfect time to enjoy the trail and check out its latest edition.
Learn something about the history of Clare, past and present, and to see for yourself.
Annabelle Francis, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Stay with us after the break. SAPOL kept on their toes in Port Lincoln, conducting 2 separate drug busts in one day. And a lovely day of singing in Broken Hill, thanks to the Philharmonic Choir. Welcome back. Last week in Port Lincoln, there were 2 major drug busts in the one day, with officers conducting searches on 2 separate properties. The first raid was at a property on New West Road, where officers allegedly found 13 cannabis plants. As a result, a 67-year-old local man was arrested and reported for growing the plant. Later that day, police searched a property on Mortlock Terrace, where they allegedly found a trafficable quantity of methamphetamine. Police arrested a 35-year-old man and a 34-year-old local woman who were charged with alleged drug trafficking. The pair were granted bail and will appear in the Port Lincoln Magistrates Court in March next year. Broken Hill's Philharmonic Choir brought the love to the stage on Sunday, singing classics like Hopelessly Devoted to You and Can You Feel the Love Tonight? The crowd felt the love too.
It was a welcome return to the stage for the choir, who were just as excited as those in attendance to hear some of their favourite songs.
We were very excited about that because we just love our music and also the social aspect as well.
Some of Broken Hill's up-and-coming young singers also took part in the concert, showing there is plenty of talent in the Silver City.
I definitely think it was the highlight. It was amazing to see all these young talented singers, and we're thinking, oh, one day perhaps they'll join our choir because we need new blood for sure.
June is one of the choir's longest serving members, joining when she was in her 20s, having loved music her whole life. And she couldn't imagine her life without music or singing.
I joined when I just turned 20 in 1959. So that means that I've been in the choir next February 64 years.
As for what she enjoys singing, there is no doubt people have heard it, as it is such a classic.
Well, the current one I think is beautiful is What a Wonderful World. I think that incorporates everything about life. So that's one I love singing.
The Philharmonic Choir will resume practice in February next year, coinciding with June's anniversary of joining the choir. Joshua Mercer, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
It was another wet week of cricket across the Spencer Gulf, with a number of the games washed out. One match in Port Lincoln managed to go ahead, which saw Tasman's defeat Waybacks in a blowout. Tasman won by 89 runs, seeing a dominant display of batting from Bodie Fowler, who tallied 80 runs not out. Brent Harris also taking 5 wickets for Tasmans. The other match on Centenary Oval between Todd River and Charlton was abandoned due to rainfall. Over in Broken Hill, players finally took to the crease after the early rounds were washed out. North beat Centrals by a comfortable 7 wickets. Centrals batted first and made a total of 100 runs, but it was the strong batting of Riley Bomford that got North over the line. Stay with us. After the break, we recap the preliminary AFLW match from the weekend. And it's about to warm up. We'll have the weather details with Alex Sykes. Welcome back. The Adelaide Crows won't be defending the grand final premiership this weekend after going down to Brisbane. The Lions will take on the Melbourne Demons this Sunday in Queensland. For the first time, the Sunshine State has hosted the grand final since 2017.
For Adelaide, it won't be 4 times the charm at the AFLW Grand Final. Trailing by 35 points and attempting a comeback, the Crows were knocked out of the prelims by this season's powerhouse, Brisbane Lions.
Their efficiency inside 50 in that quarter, we won the inside 58-6, they kicked 4 goals, 1. So that was the game. Across the course of the game, I thought we held up all right in that space. Obviously Wardlaw took a couple of nice catches down there.
The Lions took the win 7-4-46 to 3-5-23, ending Adelaide's season just short of the finish line.
Everyone's pretty stoked about making it. It's been quite a challenging year, to say the least. So I think the final effort and final reward is oh so sweet, but we've still got 1 more week to go, so that's all the girls will be looking at.
The Lions will face the Demons, making it Melbourne's second grand final appearance after ripping the Roos Dreams apart to claim the grand finals berth by 17 points.
So excited and so rapt to, make it again. It's so well deserved by everyone in the team, and I honestly can't wait to run out there with everyone, and it's a game that we deserve to be in, so yeah, good vibes.
The grand final is this Sunday afternoon with bounce down at 2:10 p.m. local time. Daniel Pizarro, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Time now to take a look at what's happening in the weather with Alex Sykes. Alex, the feels like temperature in Clare was in the single digits all day.
Maddie, the warmest it felt was 9 degrees at around 4 o'clock this afternoon. The official reading was a touch over 15 degrees, which is around 7 degrees cooler than the November average. Elsewhere, 21 in Port Augusta today, Broken Hill topped 19 and Kadina reached 17. Looking more broadly at today's weather map now, 24 was the warmest it got in our region. That was in Cooper Pedy, 19 in Woodner, Whyalla and Port Pirie, 17 in Port Lincoln, 16 in the capital. Taking a look at the satellite image now, a cooler southwest to southerly airstream will continue to move across South Australia, while a high pressure system will move over the south midweek. Moving on to tomorrow's weather outlook now, and we'll start with the Gulf waters. Southwesterly winds 15 to 20 knots, seas around a metre, and south to southwesterly swell 1.5 to 2.5 metres. A cloudy top of 19 in Port Lincoln Lincoln tomorrow, cloudy and 19 in Cleve as well. Woodna set to reach a high of 21 degrees. Whyalla partly cloudy and 20 degrees tomorrow, set to reach a high of 23 in Port Augusta. Kadina cloudy and 19 degrees. Partly cloudy in Port Pirie, set to reach 20 between 6 and 16 in Clare, and partly cloudy around Broken Hill, 21 degrees tomorrow. Taking a look further through the week now, and Wednesday is looking a fair bit warmer, sunny and 30 in Cooper Pedy, partly cloudy and 26 in Port Augusta, 24 in Broken Hill and Port Pirie, 20 in Port Lincoln and Adelaide. Moving on to Thursday's outlook, and look at all those sun icons. Blue skies right across the Spencer Gulf down to Adelaide and over the border into the far west of New South Wales. Temperature-wise, 24 is the lowest temp forecast. That's in Port Lincoln. 34 the warmest in both Woodna and Cooper Pedy. 28 in Broken Hill and Kadina. Definitely a day for sun protection. Finally, taking a quick look at how Friday is looking, and goodness me, it's about to get hot. 39 degrees in Woodna on Friday, Cooper Pedy and Port Augusta heading for a top of 38, 35 in Whyalla and Port Pirie, 33 in Broken Hill and Kadina, Adelaide 32, Port Lincoln 31 degrees. Well, Maddie, that's set to be a warm day, isn't it? And that's all the weather from me for tonight. I'll see you a little later with an update. It's back to you.
Thanks for that, Alex. And that's all local news this Monday. I'm Madeline Kerr. From all of us here, thanks for joining us. I'll have updates a little later, but until then, enjoy your evening. Good night.